Removing your need to make an income and strengthening or maintaining your desire to win as a trader is really the psychological barrier to overcome for a successful career at trading, okay? Not just successful year or month or day, a career. Hi, I'm Christoph Marzik. I've been a trader for almost 2 decades. I'm an investor, an entrepreneur. I've hired traders, mentored traders. I now own a trading firm myself. I'm in the battlefield with you guys day in and day out. All right, so let's go over this. To successfully trade, you must remove the necessity of making money while maintaining and strengthening the desire to win. All right, this is super interesting. Okay, this seems backwards, right? I just told you in another video, hey, your job as a trader is to make money. And that's true. That is your job, right? But how can you get better at making money? Well, it starts here, believe it or not. For a long-term career, it starts here. I've been doing this for a long time, and I could single-handedly tell you it's not because I got a lucky year or two. I'm at 2 decades, green every year, green every quarter, 96% of the quarters green, okay? I have people dependent on me. I have a family. This is how I make my living as a trader, all right? And the single-handedly most important variable is that I come into the trading day or week or month doing my best to remove the need of making money. Okay, the need of making money. And the reason why is because if I were to walk in to a trade session or trade month and I have to make $10,000 or I have to make $50,000 or whatever, that's too much pressure. That's too much pressure. However, if I was totally chill and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, whatever happens, I don't know, then I'm also not going to work hard enough at it. So there's this delicate balance of the desire to win and letting go of having to win. All right. Let's go a little bit deeper on this. Why does this matter? Okay. Your goal. All right. So before in the other video, I talked about how making money as a trader is your job, but your goal as a trader is to be as objective as possible when viewing the markets. Okay. If you must produce an income, you will trade scared. You will trade overly P&L focused. Let's talk about this one for a moment. Overly P&L focused. What does this mean? This means if you have your chart right next to your DOM and then you have your P&L like as a third window, you're not objective. You're not looking at prices or the supply and demand of the markets participants in an objective way. You have a distraction sitting up there, okay? We used to have, here's a story, when I hired a bunch of guys here, we used to have what's called a P&L jar, kind of like a swear jar. If any one of our guys on the team looked at their P&L, $5 in the P&L jar. I think it grew over time. We kind of made it a little bit more interesting, but every time, and it was on an honor system, probably just like a swear jar is, and you looked at it, you threw in $5. Okay, I know there was one guy. I mean, Taco Tuesdays was on him for sure. It was great. You also just won't take shots. If a good trade does come up, you're not going to swing for it. You're going to be, again, trading scared. Basically, you'll be messy. Okay? It's not elegant trading. A good trader, the best traders I know, the guys making 7, 8 figures a year, they're cool. They're chill. But they want to win. They still want to win. They have the desire to win. It's strong. But they're coming every single day not having to win. They're relaxed. I call it elegant trading, okay? Pro athlete analogy. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. All right, but Christoph, I need to make money. So you're right. We all have to make money. I have to make money. But what I'm saying is this is a mental trick, okay? And sometimes you have to do things in your life to better that mental trick. Here's what I suggest. Other sources of income become priority. So when I first started as a trader, my story quickly in the early days, very low. I got a very low salary. It was $3,000 a month, okay? And living in Chicago. And I saw that 3,000, and this is after college, student loans, whatever. And I'm like, I need to stretch this 3,000 and relax myself that there's not enough. You know, if I had a $4,000 rent, how would I possibly succeed as a trader? No, so I commuted from home. I luckily was, well, it was a 4-hour commute, so it wasn't quick, but I lived at home, and I was like, let me just stretch this 3,000. That's all I need. And that allowed me to come into the trading day not with that pressure, over pressure. I'll say pressure is good, but over pressure is not good. Okay. And it allowed me to find a way to succeed. Okay. Now, that could mean for you that you can't do that right now. Why isn't this drawing? I don't know what happened. It's not drawing. You can't do that right now. And that's okay. That's why, this video and all my videos are going to be very real. Okay, I'm going to be very real with you. I'm giving you permission not to trade, not to go after this career. You may not be ready for it. Now, you can go in and trade the micros and dabble in a little bit here and there where there's not this overburdening pressure to have to perform. But I'll say if you're not even ready for that, you're not ready to even try to be a trader. Okay, it needs to be this is the game. Okay, you're playing a game here that you need to be objective at. A couple real world solutions here. Join a trading group where it becomes your job, where maybe you do get a little salary. Okay. Don't start to go after a trading career until you do have some sort of passive stable income that relieves this pressure. That's, again, important here. And let's see, do I talk about the athlete analogy? Yeah, let's talk about this. Okay. So how about strengthening your desire to win? What does that mean? Okay, now that we've relieved the pressure. Yo, you're good, dude. You don't have to make the 30 grand this month. Okay, you either have it coming in or you have a salary, or maybe it's not 30 grand, maybe it's 5 grand, whatever. Okay, well, what do you focus on then? Okay, you focus on the act of trading, the process of trading. You're not P&L focused, you're trading metrics focused. Okay, I'll ask this question here. An athletic analogy again here is, there's some news there, so I gotta just pause that video for a moment. I gotta turn down my phone. This is how real this is right here, folks. Okay. Sorry. All right, so an athlete analogy for a moment, and again, it's super annoying this thing isn't drawing, but whatever. Athlete analogy is, okay, does a professional athlete go into the game or their sport thinking about their salary? If that was their main focus, if they're like, no, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to focus on my salary and I'm going to read my contracts and stuff like that. No, they're going to enter the field or the court thinking about how to be a better player, right? That's what leads to the higher salary. Think to be a better player. How can I be faster? How can I be quicker? How can I, whatever. How can I be a better trader? Okay, what does that mean? How can I be a better trader? Create goals for your stats. Okay, for your trading stats here. I would start with what you hope to accomplish. So for me, and here's a bonus, quick bonus that's coming up on the last slide. I'm going to show you my personal stats that I try to at least keep my head wrapped around some sort of framework. But some things to shoot out there: win rate, your green red days of the day and month. So how many days were green this month? How many were red? Streaks. This is a big one because streaks spill into some more psychology here of trading. And you're in a game of mental athletic professionalism. Okay, that's what trading is. Like a sport, you're in a mental sport. All right. Sharp ratios, win to loss ratio, time in trade. This is a big one. I'll have another video about the whole concept of time in trading. Okay, so final thoughts here. Your goal as a trader, not your job. Your job as a trader is to make money. But your goal as a trader is to be objective. Okay, objective. Remove the blockers from what the market is shooting at you and your own mental. It's like there's a little battle there, right? Here's the market blasting stuff at you, and here's your mind like doing its thing. Got to remove those blockers, right? So pressure to produce income can be a distraction. Have a P&L jar. Do the P&L jar. Focus on the market and your trading performance. Focus on the market. Oh, it's drawing again. Sweet. What does that even mean? I'm going to have another video about this. Stay tuned. You guys should really subscribe. This channel is real. This channel is real. I want to point that out. This is real. Okay, this is an AI. I burned my wall lighting a candle. I had to clean it. Where is it? Right there. Because I'm like, let me put a candle in the video. Well, I burned the wall. That's how real this is. There's not going to be, you want to know something's not AI? If there's a burned wall. Focus on the market. What does that mean? We're going to talk about it in our video. And you trade. This should be the basis of your evaluation. The basis of your evaluation isn't how much money did I make? It's how well did you trade? Okay? We're going to get to the bonus slide coming up. Christoph's trading metrics. Yes. Surrounding yourself in a healthy environment at home. I'm talking more, this is like more for home, my personal, okay, is important. We'll probably have another video about that. So much content. This is ridiculous. Surrounding yourself in a like-minded trading environment. Okay, if you're in a Discord channel where someone's posting their freaking P&L, that's not a healthy environment for you to be a better trader. We're not going to have that. We're going to have a P&L jar in my Discord or whatever I end up doing here. Celebrate as alternative there. Celebrate trading metrics success. Okay, I would be fine with somebody posting their metrics, their goals, their stated goal, and their metrics that they hit there. All right, here we go. Bonus. Can you guys hear that? Drum roll. Okay. Metrics I use. Okay. Monthly. I look at how many green, red scratch days do I have. All right. I like to shoot for 70% of my days are green, 20 are red. Should I change the color? I don't know. Should I change it? Yeah, let's change it. 20 are red, and yellow is kind of a neutral. And scratch is 10. Okay, that's a goal. Ideally 75. And here's why I have that goal, by the way. Why I like it. I like consistent. I hate losing. I hate losing. If I'm like 60-40, 50-50, that's like, okay, some people can do it. So this is my personal goal. Some people are like, no, I want 50-50. I'm fine with 50-50. And then they jack up the winners compared to losers ratio, which we'll talk about next. So mine is this, and then 150%. So my green days are 150% of my red days. Okay. So what does that mean? If I make $1,500 every green day, that means my 20% of red days is losing 1,000. And scratch is like plus or minus whatever, a couple hundred. I'm just using numbers here. Maybe it's 10,000 times by 10 or divide by 10, whatever you need to do. These are my metrics. Some people, again, are like, I'm cool with 50-50, and I want this to be 300. That's still winning. But this is, I don't like that variance in my life. I don't know. I'm more of a, let's be consistent, even keel. Doesn't affect me as much. I enter the day a little more objective. Streaks, I definitely pay attention to streaks. Green, red trades, so intraday. Like, do I just have a series of red trades, like losers? I'm paying attention. That means I'm doing something wrong. I need to reassess. Maybe I'm off kilter a little bit. I'm not elegant. I'm not elegantly trading. Red days or trades similarly. Or green. It's green. Oh, by the way, a green streak can be just as potentially mentally hazardous as a red streak. Okay, suddenly your ego, your chest is puffing out like a gorilla, right? You're not objective anymore. If your chest is puffing out like this, you're not objective anymore. And that's your goal as a trader. Going back to the previous slide, your goal as a trader is to be objective. And I also look at the days in a row. Okay. Oops. Time in winners, 200% of time in losers. This one I'm a little more willy-nilly on, I guess. Like, And we could talk about time and trade again in another video. Like what is, like, wrap my head around the framework of my time in a trade. Finally, my favorite. I don't know how many people are actually talking about this. If I don't check mark my like take notes box, did I take my notes? That's a bad day. Okay? Gotta take your notes. Even if you never, you're gonna hear me say it so many times, it's gonna be sickening. Even if you never reread them, I don't care if you reread them. The act of taking them, use a notebook if you need to. I don't use a notebook. This is for something else, but I've an Excel spreadsheet or something where you can take notes on your observations on yourself. It's crucial. It's crucial. All right. That's all for this one. I hope you guys got some value from it. I'm planning on making so many more videos. It's just going to be ridiculous. We're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about trading, a lot of trading videos, a lot of investing videos, a lot of some business videos, some philosophy in there. It's going to be intense. We're going to wrap our head around all of it because it all is combined. It's all coming together. Please subscribe. Shoot me some comments. I'd be curious about your feedback, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.